of the NFL. And everyone's watching Kene Nwangu. He ranks among the rushing leaders, third in the league on the season. It's the Falcons and the 49ers. All that and more coming up next on EA Sports.
As the sun starts to set, we're going to see how much light is left by the end of this early evening game here on the NFL on EA Sports. Joined by a former NFL quarterback up in the booth, Mr. Brock Heward. I'm Kate Scott, and Brock, you can brag if you'd like to, because I know you had quite the big arm in your days with the Huskies and the Seahawks in Seattle. Well, we got a couple of quarterbacks here who also know how to push that football down the field.
Yeah, you got a couple QBs who are going to keep these defenses honest today, because the moment they get greedy in coverage or get too aggressive in the pocket, either of these quarterbacks can drop a dime, drop a deep throw right over them for big yardage, maybe 6 points too.
Ready to get us started. And we're underway in Atlanta. Here's a return from the 7. And a decent return ends as they bring him down inside the 30. So here come the 49ers for their opening drive. They're brought out by a former #1 pick who always plays with energy and passion, Baker Mayfield.
A win is a win for him, whether he goes for 400 yards and 5 touchdowns, Kate, or maybe he just finds the end zone once like last week. And being the team-first guy he is, he'd be more than happy to end the game with just 1 touchdown pass, or maybe even no touchdown passes, so long as they get the win in the end.
That's taken in by Henry. And he's up to the 35-yard line as they reel him in.
Just get this guy touches. I don't care how, I don't care when, just find unique ways to get this running back the ball, and over time, he's going to make you pay.
Here's Derrick Henry getting it on the ground. And he'll be met near the line to limit the gain to a yard. Drew Tranquil brings him to the ground. Short yardage situation here. It's 3rd and 2. Running once more with Henry. And the defense gets there to force a small loss.
Talked to a bunch of different GMs, Kate, especially around draft time, and they all say the same thing. Linebackers are so hard to find. It's hard to transition from the college game that's in so much space to this game where you've got to play in a phone booth yet have that explosiveness to chase a play on the outside down like that linebacker just did.
4th down, and on comes the punt team, and the kick's away. And the fair catch secured here at the 16. So here are the Falcons out on offense for their first drive. They're led out by a 2022 draftee out of North Carolina. He was taken in the 5th round, Sam Howell.
He was on one last week, but it was too bad his teammates weren't on that ride with them. Look at all the yards he put up. You're assuming anytime you throw for that many yards, that much production, you've won in a blowout, but that wasn't the case. It does have him highly motivated and the rest of his guys to play at that level again, but this time find a way to win.
Only gets a yard there to make it 2nd and 9.
1 yard gain brings up 2nd and 9 at the 18-yard line.
Howell from the gun. His throw finds Justin Watson. And this one's brought to a halt at about the 36-yard line. That'll go for an 18-yard gain. And the Falcons will have a first.
First and 10 at the 36-yard line.
Lone back in the backfield, and he gets the handoff. And he'll scurry forward for a pickup of 3.
Okay, that's a run that's ho-hum on the stat sheet, but if you see a bigger play on the ground later on, it'll largely be because of a play just like that one, softening up the front and opening the door for a bigger gap in the future.
And they push this down to the opposing 47-yard line. They gain 14 on the play. And it's good for an Atlanta first down.
You know, Kate, you'll find teams go to this crossing route concept sometimes a dozen times a game. A lot of times it's for shorter yardage, but sometimes things break in the right coverage for a much bigger impact play, just like that.
Here's Howell, 1st and 10. Fits it through the middle. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. Give him 32 on that play. And the Falcons will have a first.
Now, right there, that's what you want to see on your opening drive. Boom! Connect on a big shot, and instantly you set a tone that you're not going to be afraid to be aggressive in this game today. Boy, do I love that.
Option design here. And he sneaks this through the middle, maybe a gain of 2.
Hey, we know running the ball in the NFL is hard, and that play pretty indicative of it. Here's the key, though. At the end of the game, those type of plays got to be in the minority, and the majority have got to do some damage.
And once again, he doesn't manage much before getting brought down. 1 yard on the run, so just 3 yards across those last 2 carries. It's 3rd and 7. Howell out of the shotgun. Has a man, it's Brown. And this one doesn't go far.
You can earn your money in the NFL in all sorts of different ways, but defensively, in a league where you're just not hitting as much in training camp, you're not tackling as much as they got to in the old days, when you can make a play in the open field, keep them short like that, I promise you some money will follow. Well, I know once that drive stalls out, that's where it really pays to have that reliable kicker on the sideline ready to bail you out. And he knocks that one right through to give him the lead.
Fielded at the 7. Coverage team gets him down at the 26-yard line. The 49ers and Baker Mayfield ready for this next possession. And we're getting a look at the leaders in passing touchdowns this season here, where you will find his name among the top 5 right now in the NFL. They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10. Play fake. It's Mayfield. That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact. Seeing some early game planning at work here, Brock. They were quick to attack that throw and break it up.
Yeah, this defense knows the importance this offense places on throwing the ball to their tight ends, and they were ready for it and all over it.
Henry on the catch. Decent gain here, but short of the first. 3rd and just 2 to go. Baker now from the gun. Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete. Working across the middle, Brock. It is tough for anybody to make plays through all that mess, even when you're the biggest and baddest pass catcher on the roster.
But as a tight end, you're going to be disappointed because that's what you're paid to do. It's one thing for those undersized receivers you talk about. It's another one for these big tight ends. You are paid to make that catch through contact, and he couldn't do it.
Big kick on that one, 62 yards. And the Falcons will take over. To the air on 1st down, Howell. This one's quickly to Jones. And he's up to the 35-yard line as they reel him in. Nice spot here for the offense. It's 2nd and 1. Working from the pistol, Howell. Complete out to the right. And he's tackled with the 1st down yardage. Play action here with Howell. He fires one deep down the middle. And his perfect start is over. And that's the first one of his throws to wind up incomplete. Couldn't connect on 1st. It's 2nd down. To throw again, it's Howell. Gets this one to Watson. And he drives this across midfield and down into enemy territory. Short yardage situation here. It's 3rd and 2. Out of the shotgun, Howell. That's caught for the 1st. And he has it to the 42 before they make the stop. That's good for 7 yards. And it's good for an Atlanta 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 42-yard line.
He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose. Incomplete. Tough one to retain through that hit. So 2nd down coming up. Straight ahead, it's Brown. And this almost ended worse, but he gets a yard out of it. Jesse Bates getting up for the stop that time. Drive in dire straits. It's 3rd and 9.
Brings up 3rd down and 9.
Throwing now, Howell. It's taken in by Washington. And he'll be brought down at about the 29. It's a gain of 12 there. And the Falcons will have a first.
I'm not sure how this defense let that guy slip through him like that. On 3rd down, nonetheless, he took that snap as an opportunity. And man, did he make an impact play.
A new set of downs forthcoming. It's 1st and 10. Howell has the connection to Jones. And he'll have a small 4-yard chunk there. Hit made by Josh Uche. Well, we see the medical staff headed out there now. We're going to get a timeout as they handle an injured player. Not what you want to see so close to the end of the season. 2nd and 6 coming up here. Now a shotgun handoff to Brown. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
I think with that call, they were trying to set him up with a short 3rd down run, but he said, nope, not on my watch. I'll just go get it all right here. Now, playbook's wide open for 1st and 10.
Going to the ground again on 1st. And he'll push this upfield and earn them a new set of downs.
That's pretty good right there now. You don't always expect a sizable gain when you run it on 1st down. You just want some yards to set up an easier 2nd down play. But they will take that execution every time.
And they will score. It's an Atlanta touchdown. The Falcons stretch their early lead to 9. Slant route, as it does so many times every game we call, Brock. Paying dividends. Made that touchdown look a lot easier than it was.
An uncontested release that close to the end zone spells disaster for a defense every time, Kate. You got to have a whole lot more physicality at the point of attack because a QB is always going to be looking for that short little slant near the goal line.
That one splits the uprights. And the Falcons go up 10-zip here in the 1st. Blankenship all set for the kickoff. Kadarius Toney now to return it. And this drive will start inside the 25. So here come the 49ers on offense. And it's far from the first time we're seeing this unit head out, Brock. But what we haven't seen so far in this opening half, well, we haven't seen much in terms of yardage.
No, it's like they've written a few lyrics, but nowhere close to a song yet.
And they take him down, but there's a flag on the play.
Offside, defense.
Easy call for the officials there. He was offsides at the snap, and that's going to cost him.
Still 1st down.
A 1st and 5 to begin this drive following the penalty. We get to Henry on the inside handoff. He gets forward, and that's about 4 yards. Shaq Griffin finishing that play off. Nice spot here for the offense. It's 2nd and 1. From the gun, Mayfield. And oh, someone stepped in. It's intercepted. Christian Benford has it. And it makes the Huffs go. It's a touchdown on the pick six. Another score here in this 1st quarter, Brock, as they continue dominating in this opening frame.
You know what I love here, Kate? This defense is seizing on a sputtering opponent, and they're actively trying not just to defend the lead, but to add to it.
Blankenship good on the point after. And the Falcons take a 3-possession lead. Well, Brock, hopefully some short memories on offense as they get it right back here on the kickoff after that pick six. That's going to be taken in at the 8. And this return gets to the 30 before he stopped. Now out comes the San Francisco offense. And they're still looking for their first signs of life on offense. Haven't even been able to get a first down off this defense just yet. Running back sent in motion. Ooh, he got hit as he was throwing, and unsurprisingly, it falls incomplete. Second down coming up. Throwing again is Baker. Cuffs, this is Xavier Leggett. And he'll get taken down after advancing this to the 37. All plays on the table here for 3rd and 3. Mayfield now from the gun. Pass complete to Hubbard. They come through with a nice gain of 10 and a first down.
You know, they call that the money down for a reason, because you're just simply not going to last long in the NFL if you don't convert a good portion of your third downs. It's the money down. And nice to see them roll the dice and continue the series.
Breaks the tackle, still going. And he's going to be across midfield, close to the 45 before going out. 2nd and 3 now. They'll run it here. It's James Conner. And he's caught behind the line for a loss. And now we'll get a pause here. Trainer's headed out to take a look at an injured player. Let's hope it isn't anything that's going to keep him from finishing this season strong. Chance to move the chains here on 3rd and 4. Here's Baker to throw. Complete beyond the marker. And he's tackled with the first down yardage. New slated downs to approach here from the 40. Out of the gun, Henry. And the power play up the gut only results in 2 yards.
You know, not a ton of yards, but still showing that commitment to the ground game. The type of run that keeps the defense from loading up in coverage and focusing entirely on that passing game.
Mayfield with a blitz coming. Quick slant here to Kirk. He's corralled after a modest 4-yard gain. Shaq Griffin finishing that play off. Let's see what they went with on 3rd down. Shotgun snap for Mayfield. Leggett's got it. And he's going to be brought down at the 23-yard line. It's a pickup of 11. And it brings up a San Francisco first down.
Well, that is pretty darn impeccable timing between the two. To hit a curl route of that length, it takes great anticipation and precision by the quarterback, and the receiver on the other end finishing it, doing his job.
Henry running to the left. And they bring him to a stop, but this run gets him into the red zone down to the 15. Pickup of 8 on the run, and that sets up 2nd and 2. Another run for Henry, and he's brought down for a loss.
Kate, it's amazing how fast these guys are on the field and how fast your fortunes can turn. 2nd and short run, you're feeling good about yourself. But with a negative play, well, now comes a critical 3rd down.
3rd and short, Mayfield. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop him. And the defense comes through to back him up ahead of 4th down. Groupie sends it through. And the gap closes to 14 points.
That's the type of long, sustained drive that takes some of the starch out of your opponent. The only negative is that the kicking team was out there for a field goal and not an extra point. But they do come away with 3.
Starting from the 5. He stopped on the return at the 27. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. Now Howell off to play action. This is hauled in by T. Higgins. Give him 15 yards on the pickup there. And it's good for an Atlanta first down. So before they can get set and snap it, the clock runs out on quarter 1. It's a 2-score game early. We'll make our return to Mercedes-Benz Stadium after this. Back for our second quarter. It's Falcons football. They've got 1st and 10 here, looking to add to their lead. Howell back to throw. That's going to be caught by Washington. And the tackle's made just beyond midfield at the 48. Give him an even 10 yards on the play. And the Falcons will have a first. They'll run the counter. And the defense gets there to force a small loss.
Well, he was supposed to be the one who chipped away a few and got a new set of downs started right in rhythm. Instead, he's now forced to pick himself from behind the line thanks to a great effort defensively.
That pass caught by Wangu. And they make the tackle at the 38.
I know that completion doesn't move the chains, but I love it nonetheless. You make sure that defense is aware of every eligible player going out, and this time it was out of the backfield with a running back that shows he's adept at catching it as well.
2 yards on the pickup, and it's good for an Atlanta first down. Out of the gun, they'll give it to him inside. It looks like we can call it about 4 yards in the end. Chris Braswell there for the tackle. 2nd and 6 coming up here. Back-to-back carries here. Nice run across the 15. All the way, that's an Atlanta touchdown. The Falcons stretch their lead to a 3-score advantage. Well, Brock started small at first, but then he found that lane, and it was a race to the end zone from that point on.
And it takes a little bit of everybody. How many times do we hear these coaches tell us, if you're going to get a run play for a big gain, it takes the whole group, all 10 of them around him have to do their job. Got to block up front, receivers got to block on the perimeter, they all get it done, and a big chunk run follows.
That one right down the middle. And the Falcons stretch their lead to 21. Blankenship all set for the kickoff. Here's a return from the 7. And he's going to make this to the 28 before going down. And this is a good representation right here of what the playoffs will look like come the postseason in 2 weeks. Still a few things to finalize, though, which makes this week and those divisional games next week incredibly important. Henry gets it here to start the drive. And he found some running room for a nice gain. Good rip on first down. That brings up 2nd and 2. Trying down the middle with Henry. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
That's a run that you'll take the result in the NFL every time. A nice play, a solid game, but it's also a run that you know, and you may come back to, because if you were that close to breaking off an explosive one, you really break the backs of the defense.
And he's just going to get rid of this one. Smart move there. When you saw the field, it's going to be 2nd down. Baker now off the play fake. This is Lee Gantz working the left side. And they're going to take this in for the San Francisco touchdown. The 49ers fighting back and shaving 6 off that lead. Xavier Legette with the touchdown. On is Cade York for the PAT. Extra point sent right down the middle. And the 49ers get it back to a 14-point game.
49ers 10.
On now is Dixon to kick this one away. This return starts at the 5. Coverage team gets him down at the 26-yard line. The Falcons are out for another look on offense alongside QB Sam Howell. And with just this and one more game to go this season, he's 2 good weeks away from leading the league in passing yards for the year. Out of the shotgun. They'll give it to him inside. And this one's brought to a halt at about the 36-yard line. They come through with a nice gain there. Gain of 10, first down.
You call that first down running play. You don't always expect to get those kind of yards, but they'll take that every single time.
Here's Howell, first and 10. On the quick slant here, it's Higgins. And they'll make the stop up at the 46-yard line. Let's see what they want to do here, partner. It's second and inches. From the 46. Caught by the tight end, running that corner. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a first down. They get 35 out of that one. And the Falcons will have a first.
I think my favorite part was the magic he worked after the catch. The way he took the completion and made so much more out of it by adding all the extra yardage.
Thinking touchdown here after that big play. We've got first and 10 from the red zone. Putting the tight end in motion. To the air on first down. Howell. And that's complete in the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. The Falcons make it a 3-possession game. T. Higgins, the touchdown. And they've loved the scoring production he's brought out of their offense. That touchdown gives him 10 on the season. For the point after, here's Blankenship. The point after splits the uprights. And the Falcons stretch their lead to 21. Blankenship all set for the kickoff. Tony now to return it. He stopped on the return at the 27. Offense ready to begin this drive. First and 10. They kick the running back in motion. First down. Here's Baker. Connects with Hubbard.
Well, if they were concerned about losing yards, running it on first down, it just happened anyway. Not many passes end in a loss. Hopefully they got a little more aggressive strategy coming here on second down.
This is Henry on second. He's forward, gets a couple of yards. Stopped on the play by big Chris Jones. Only 2 yards on the play, and it brings up 3rd and 8. Baker now from the gun. He'll get this to Henry. And a nice gain here, but it's stopped short of the first.
Translatable skills, that's what you call it. So effective as a runner, but those same traits that make him a great runner, adept at getting those yards, well, he translates it now as a receiver in the open field.
And before that return amounts to much, they bring him down. The Falcons ready for their next series, led out on offense by their quarterback. And on that last drive, Brock, he crossed a notable threshold in passing yards for the season. Always nice when you can reach one of those plateaus to look back on after the year's over. They'll run here from the gun. And he's caught behind the line for a loss. Everyone's prepped. It's second down now.
A loss of a yard brings up second and 11 at the 25-yard.
And the shotgun, Howell. Jones reels it in. And he'll go down, and we'll say right at the 39-yard line. Big gain, 14 on the play. And it's good for an Atlanta first down.
I may love watching a great thrower, but I love watching a well-done route too, Kate. Make that guy think you're trying to stack him only to drop your hips and cut right inside. Some good work to help reset those chains.
This one's quickly to Jones. And they'll make the stop up at the 46-yard line.
You know, I often say there is a fine line between aggressiveness and carelessness. And when you throw into double coverage, Well, it can go either way. That time, a tremendous catch by his receiver on the other end. You know, Kate, over the years, I have heard defensive coordinators say, hey, you got to earn the right to rush your passer. You got to earn the right for me to call blitzes. And when you call a blitz and you don't get home and you don't hit the quarterback, you've earned nothing.
That's caught for the first. And he's brought down right in the neighborhood of that 40-yard line. The end result there, 15 yards and a first. To throw again, it's Howell. And this throw's knocked away, incomplete. That one vehemently swatted away. And that'll bring up second down. Howell out of the shotgun. Complete on the slant to Watson. And he'll get this down at the 33-yard line. All plays on the table here for 3rd and 3. Howell from the gun. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop him. And the defense comes through. That's going to back him up and bring up 4th down.
This offense has been in a rhythm, settled in and found it in the first half, but hopefully that sack for this defense can disrupt that rhythm just a little bit. Kind of reminds me, Kate, in baseball when you're facing an elite pitcher, just get somebody on base. Just make that pitcher think a little bit. Hopefully that sack for this defense does the same to the QB. He was hitting from that distance pregame. Heck, we were on the field watching it, and they were confident he could do so again. Just did not work out this time around.
The 49ers find themselves in a great spot to start this drive. 1st and 10 coming up. Mayfield now from the gun. That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact. No dice on that prior pass. Here's 2nd down. From the gun, a run for Henry. And it's a nice little chunk here, 6 yards. Leonard Floyd bringing that play to a close. 3rd and 4 coming up now. From the gun, Mayfield. Complete beyond the marker. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. The drive picks up here, 1st and 10. Baker out of the pistol. Forced out to his right. And this time they're going to get there, and they drop it. And the big play drives them backwards. 2nd down coming up.
Kate, I've seen a one-step drop. I've seen a 3, a 5, a 7. Some of the boots and play actions get more depth, but a 20-step drop? That's not going to cut it. Except for this defense, it just adds a whole bunch of negative yards to that play.
And they bring him down around the 34.
Quarterbacks will look for their tight end short in just about any situation. They take away the deeper options. Well, there's their consistent source of positive yardage, the trusty tight end.
This one is taken in by Tony. And he's going to be brought down at the 23-yard line.
Pursue, pursue, pursue. It's why they do these drills all the time, Kate. You do it through the offseason, do it through training camp, you do them in the regular season. Because when a defense plays with tremendous pursuit, you force 4th downs just as they did.
Groupie sends it through. And it gets a fraction closer as the lead's down to 18.
Okay, one of the areas that kickers and quarterbacks are similar, they want to get into rhythm. And no better way to feel good and get into that rhythm than start a game 2 for 2 as a kicker.
Fielded at the 7. And a decent return ends as they bring him down inside the 30. The Falcons headed back out on offense. Their quarterback returning to the field now. And we're all hoping his hot start can continue. He's been putting up some numbers early in this contest. Lone back in the backfield, and they give it to him. And he found some running room for a nice gain. It's an 8-yard pickup, and they're going to have 2nd and 2 next. They give it to him again. And he's going to bring it up to the 40-yard line before he stopped. It's a gain of 4. And the Falcons will have a first. They'll try and take an option left side. He swarms in the middle. This gets maybe a yard. Josh Sweat making the stop. They'll come to the line here, 2nd and 9. Now Howell to throw. Short pass brought in. And that will not be enough for a first down. It's the 2-minute warning now from Atlanta. The Falcons with a chance to add to their lead. All plays on the table here for 3rd and 3. Howell now. He's got Watson. And he's into the end zone for an Atlanta touchdown. The Falcons boat racing them to the halftime locker room. I love plays like this, Brock. Sometimes you just got to ask your dude, show me what you got, man. Show off those wheels, and he did just that.
Yeah, beauty in simplicity, right?
Yep.
Now, when you run that fly route, you got to win right from the jump. You got to protect yourself from the sideline, too. Don't get pushed to the boundary. Give your quarterback room to throw it up. You can find pay dirt.
Blankenship all set for the kickoff. Here's a return from the 7. And in the end, he's able to get it to what used to be a touchback. It's at the 25 after the return. The 49ers and Derrick Henry making their way back out on offense. And their last drive did end in points. Not as many as they wanted, though. They had to settle for that field goal despite advancing the football pretty well. Mayfield on 1st and 10. That's taken in by Henry. And this is pushed ahead for a gain of 5. Play made by E.J. Speed. And he doesn't see a window he likes, so he just got rid of that one. And brings up 3rd down. They'll empty the backfield and motion him out. Hits him on the out route. And he reaches the 35 before going out. That one ends up a gain of 6. And that's a 49er first down. Baker throwing again. Finds him over the middle. And they'll take him down at the 43-yard line. Offense at the line, but they won't snap it. We've got a timeout. Mayfield to throw again. Toward the sideline, and he's gotten again. They gain 14 on the play. And it brings up a San Francisco first down. Mayfield thrown out of the pistol. It's caught right side by Johnson. And he's going to be taken down a yard shy of the 25. They'll come up 1st and 10. Shotgun snap for Mayfield. Looking right, and he finds him. And that one goes for a gain of 11. And that's a 49er first down. Motioning the tight end now. Working inside the red zone. Connects with Johnson.
He's just one of those guys, Kate. Even when he's not open, he's still a target thanks to that physicality and his ability to just play bully ball. They don't like forcing into coverage, but sometimes when you got a bully like him that can create space, just find a way to get him the ball.
And the defense is all over this one for a big loss. They'll motion him out of the backfield. Gets this to Johnson. They'll have 1st and goal to go now after they gained 18 on the previous play. Hubbard takes this the wrong way. That's a loss all the way back to the 5. The 49ers will call their 3rd and final timeout. Baker now from the gun. And he rips this one out and over the back of the end zone. Incomplete. Buckle up. It's 3rd and goal. Here's Baker to throw. Rolling left, behind some... And they get to him as he was trying to make something happen. Good pressure from the defense there has them trending in the wrong direction. That's the end of 2 in Atlanta. The Falcons really spreading their wings. They're out in front so far. Now we'll get you down to our Orlando studios for the EA Sports Halftime Report with Jonathan Coachman.
All right, Kate, thanks very much. More from you and Brock in a moment. But first, time for a look around the NFL to see what's going on here and what's already been an eventful afternoon of football. We'll start by heading out west, State Farm Stadium in Glendale. And it's the Buccaneers who are out in front in the second quarter. The Buccaneers trying to hold on and claim victory. From there, we get up to the Rocky Mountains to check on the Broncos at home in Denver. And in that one, it's the visiting Dolphins who are out in front. The Dolphins trying to gut this one out, as it would be a good victory for them if they could get it. Lastly, let's get you to Charlotte, North Carolina. Check on the Panthers at home at Bank of America Stadium. And they were losers in that one as they fall to the visiting Seattle Seahawks. Ken Walker, 2 touchdown runs to lead the way. We just watched a fine first half from quarterback Sam Howell. He connected on 3 touchdown passes in those first 2 quarters as his guys have built up a sizable lead here at the break. This was an extremely one-sided first half. One team showed up ready to go. The other's been in a daze thus far. But there's still plenty of time left for this one to tighten up significantly.
This one away. Returning it from the 4. Coverage team gets him down at the 26-yard line. The home teams are being led back out there on offense by their quarterback. And he's been one of the best at leading an offense this season. As you can see, he's at 2nd in the NFL right now in touchdown passes. They'll run here on first down. And he breaks even, but that's it. Brought down at that line of scrimmage. Josh Sweat making the stop. 2nd and 10. Need to get some positive yardage here.
2nd and 10 at the 26-yard line.
And the shotgun. Howell. He's going to loft one deep to the left. Brought in inside the 20. And he breaks into enemy territory before being stopped on a huge gain.
You know, Kate, we often talk about flipping the field in special teams, right? A kick return, a good punt. Well, an explosive play like that does the exact same thing. Look at the difference in field position. By hitting on that shot, you've totally flipped the field and the tone of this drive.
Just a gain of 1, and that brings up 2nd and 9. Another carry for him. And once again, he doesn't manage much before getting brought down. A gain of about 3, so a third of what they needed. 3rd and 6 coming up.
Brings up 3rd and 6.
Back to throw. Here's Howell. This one's caught. And that play is brought to a halt, they're going to say, at the 5-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain. That sets up 1st and goal.
You're not going to last long in the National Football League if you don't convert a good chunk of your 3rd downs. Nice find there to continue the series.
And oh, he got it! Interception! Ernest Jones with the pick.
You know, Kate, one of the tenets of the West Coast system that I was fortunate to play in, touchdown to check down. Touchdown to check down. You get in the red zone, it's touchdown to check down. You can't put the ball in harm's way. That's a brilliant job by the defense with their coverage, baiting the quarterback into the throw. And you got to sail that one into the stands. Touchdown or check down. You can't possibly give an interception in that situation.
Well, partner, they say there's holding on every play. You just got to look for it, right? That time, though, we did not have to look too hard. Okay, the wide receiver is going to get it to begin the drive. And he's only able to get this to around the 13. It's a gain of 3, but that still leaves him with 2nd and 17. Now here's Mayfield. He finds Johnson. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a 1st down. They're set up at the 35 now.
1st down, San Francisco.
First down, here's Baker. On target to his man, Tony. And they'll take him down at the 43-yard line.
That is a textbook first down completion. Sets up second and very manageable. It creates space to take that shot downfield.
Backfield is empty as they motion him out right. Henry on the catch. And he's tackled with the first down yardage.
That's just great instincts. Go air it out on second down rather than just play conservative and run it. They hit a weak point in the coverage and don't need to worry about third down at all.
First and 10. Here's Mayfield. On the slant, complete to Johnson. And they're going to haul him down just shy of the 40. It's a pickup of 11. And it brings up a San Francisco first down. Mayfield now from the gun. Caught, nice gain left side. They rip off a big chunk of field, and it sets them up with first and goal.
From a great throw to a nice route and catch to moving the chains, there wasn't a whole lot not to like about that amazing play.
They'll run here with Henry. And he barrels across for the touchdown. The 49ers start the second half with some needed points. Derrick Henry, the touchdown. He would not be denied that close to the end zone, Brock. I think it might have taken 5 or 6 guys tackling him to keep him from diving across the line for 6.
Certainly a second effort touchdown, no question. The backs who become fan favorites, we've seen it through the generations, and they set the curve for their peers, are the ones who just fight through that stop. It will not be denied of a touchdown.
On now is Dixon to kick this one away. Starting from the 5. He stopped on the return at the 27. The offense being led back out by its quarterback as they get geared up for their next possession. And as we're reminded of some of the highlights of this game, his touchdowns ranking quite high among them. We're going to see 3 of them here, and if you're scoring like that, Brock, it normally means you've had a pretty darn good game. Drive starts out with a first and 10. Interception last drive doesn't deter them. They're going right back to the air. And he's up to the 35-yard line as they reel him in. After a good pickup, they're set up with second and short. Howell from the gun. Got Washington, it's complete. And he has it up towards midfield before he's taken down at the 47. They'll keep this drive moving and come to the line for first and 10. Blown back in the backfield, and he gets the handoff. And he's able to get it past midfield and down onto the 49er side. Pickup of 8 on the run, and that sets up second and 2. Back to the well again. He'll drive it forward, but won't get beyond the line. Tackle made by Ernest Jones. Now after that play, we have somebody banged up down there. Injuries never a welcome sight so close to the end of the season. They're out to attend to him. Third and just 2 to go. Straight ahead, it's Brown. And he's able to get this down to the 36. A 9-yard gain and good for a first down.
You love a huddle? Okay, you really do. You love a huddle full of guys like this who just know how to keep the drive moving forward. There's some trust there that he's going to get the job done, and he's going to get another shot, I would guess, down the line.
And he's only going to get 2 or 3 yards on that one.
You know, they got some positive yards. That's a good thing. But too many plays like that, it just is too hard to pile together, get first downs against the better defenses in this league.
He's contained at the line for no gain. Josh Sweat making the stop. No gain on the play, and it brings up 3rd and 7.
No gain on the play. Brings up 3rd down and 7.
Howell out of the shotgun. Toward the sideline, and he's got it. It's a 23-yard pickup on the play. And it's good for an Atlanta first down.
That's what we call situational football. You spend all week working on your nickel passing game package to take advantage of third downs just like that.
All right, I'll set up now. 1st and 10. From the red zone now. Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete. Couldn't connect on first. It's 2nd down. Howell now. This throw is caught. And that play is brought to a halt. They're going to say at the 5-yard line. Got to figure out this 3rd down here. To throw again, it's Howell. Getting out to his left. And this time they're going to get there, and they drop him. And the defense comes through to back him up ahead of 4th down.
I know we talk about rhythm a lot when it comes to music, but it's the same thing with a quarterback and his protection. This QB was in rhythm, but they knocked the notes out of him on that one.
Up and good from Romo. And that stretches the lead to 21.
You know, you look at that 3rd down play, looking back, and it really turns into a 3-point play. It's why situational work is so critical. Coaches talk about it all the time. Sure, you love the field goal, but man, they would have loved a touchdown more.
Tony now to return it. He stopped on the return at the 27. The 49ers returning their offense and this running back to the field. They really had the passing game clicking on that last touchdown drive, partner. We'll see if they stick with that or if they mix things up a bit on this series. Hands it to the receiver here in motion. Oh, look at this sweep. And that tackle stops him after a solid gain. Halfway there on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. From the 31. Got his target. It's Tony. And he won't salvage that. It's a loss on the play.
I'll tell you this, you don't want to make a living throwing into double coverage, but double coverage and still finding a way to beat the defense and haul it in. That's not a situation many players win, and there aren't a lot of quarterbacks willing to make that throw.
And there's a man there. It's intercepted. Drew Tranquil with the pick. And the Falcons get it back on his 6th interception of the season.
Well, that's now his 2nd time that he's put his defense in a tough spot. That's a hard thing about playing quarterback, Kate. You know, with these interceptions and now the 2nd on the day, you're asking your defense again to step up to another series, another possession, another challenge. This quarterback's got to start protecting the football.
Onto the field runs the Atlanta offense. And taking a look at these highlights, Brock, just a reminder of the type of game that they have had throwing the football. It really has been the key to their success.
Yeah, they've just not only stayed on schedule here, Kate. Man, they've made some music, right? Great rhythm.
Yeah.
Not just ahead of schedule, but huge plays have followed. We've seen a lot of different looks and wrinkles throughout this performance, and it's been a joy to watch.
On 1st down, they'll run. And it's a really nice gain on the reverse. That call came at the perfect time. Give him about 16 yards on that gain, Brock, and it sets him up with 1st and goal.
1st and goal at the 9-yard line.
Here's Howell. The throw is caught. And they bring him down at the 7-yard line.
Well, that's a pretty similar result to a 1st down run play. Moves it forward, keeps you on schedule, and makes 2nd and 3rd down a whole lot easier to manage.
He gets it headed right. And he gets them a little closer to the end zone, down to the 6. Only a yard on the pickup. That leaves him with 3rd and goal at the 6.
Now 3rd and goal.
Throwing from the gun. Touchdown, Atlanta! Well, as they drive 4-1 right now, looks like it should be a win, Brock. He sure has taken advantage of a nice little chance to boost his stat line. His 2nd touchdown of the game.
Yeah, you just kind of feel these two building some trust, right? Just more and more equity, certainly paying dividends in this one, but more than likely for more games to come.
For the point after, here's Blankenship. Right down the middle, it's good. And the Falcons grow their lead yet again. Blankenship all set for the kickoff. This return starts at the 5. He lost the football. And they dodge a turnover there on the return. Coverage team gets him down at the 26-yard line. This offense and their quarterback making their way back out there, ready to take over once again. And as we can see here, it hasn't been the easiest game for him to operate out there, right? Number of rough moments for him. This defense able to pick him off twice to highlight their performance against him. Mayfield on 1st and 10. Connects with Hubbard. And defenders are there to get him at the line. Leonard Floyd bringing that play to a close. 2nd and 10. Need to get some positive yardage here. Out of the gun, Henry. And he'll go down after fighting his way to the 32. 6 yards to pick up there. That's going to bring up 3rd and 4. Running back sent in motion. Gets this to Johnson. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
You know, Kate, they say a dog is a man's best friend. A tight end that moves the chains on 3rd down, that's a QB's best friend.
Handoff headed right to Henry. And he's able to power this forward, but they stop him after 2 yards. 8 yards to go. Let's see how they approach this 2nd down. From the 39. Escapes the pocket. Decent yardage picked up here before he slides down to avoid the tackle.
You know, Kate, back in the day, we had a slip and slide at practice for moments just like that. Actually practicing how to slide and get out of harm's way. Nice gain on the play and denied that defense yet another chance to take a shot on him.
And he's brought down for a loss.
It's results like that that drive coordinators nuts. Premature balding, gray, wrinkles, all of it, Kate. You call something conservative. The last thing you're thinking is you're going to lose yards on a 3rd and 1 run.
The 49ers are lined up in punt formation. Michael Dixon will kick it away. Ooh, it's away, but he knows he mishit that one. Headed for the sideline. And no chance at a return as this one heads across the sideline at the 25-yard line. The home teams and T. Higgins back in possession here. And I think by this point we can all agree, Brock, that he is not going to be stopped until the clock stops at the end of this game. He just continues to make catches count in this 2nd half. 1st down, Howell. That's incomplete left side.
That play right there, Kate, that just goes to show you can't take any completion for granted. Even some of the shortest passes in the game plan.
Howell again on 2nd and 10. It's taken in by Washington. And he'll go down after fighting his way to the 32. All plays on the table here for 3rd and 3. Out of the gun, they'll give it to him inside. And he's got a chunk of yards as we've reached the end of 3. Thankfully, only 1 quarter to play now. We've reached the end of 3 in this lopsided affair. It's Falcons football as we start the 4th. They hold a commanding advantage here. First and 10 from the 41. Here's the lone back on the handoff. And he's got a decent gain before being halfway to the marker. It's 2nd and 5.
A gain of 5 brings up 2nd and 5.
Handoff to the up back. And they'll get him down after he gets into the 48. A 7-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
I don't know, Kate. I think maybe they were only expected to get a couple yards when they call the fullback's number. But not only will they take it, we might give him the rock again.
From the gun, a give to Brown. And that carry only nets one on the plunge up the gut.
Okay, this is why you got to be careful to just run it always on first down. You got to break your tendencies. The casual fan, well, that casual fan knew what was coming, but more importantly, this defensive front did too.
And the defense gets there to force a small loss.
You know, that's so hard for me, Kate. That's the type of effort that deserves better when it comes to the results. It's going to show up as a negative run on the stat sheet, but that was not the runner's fault. He did all he could to fight to get back to the line, but this defense just kept swarming.
Tight end reels in the shallow throw, and he's tackled for a short gain.
Feet and eyes, Kate. Feet and eyes. They so often tell the story of every position on the field. When that quarterback's feet and eyes move to his secondary read, and so often it's a tight end, well, it's incumbent on that defense to fly to the ball. You want to make that tackle, force the fourth down? It took a great defensive effort to do it.
We don't get a return out of that punt. And the 49ers will take over deep on their own side. They're out and set, 1st and 10. They'll empty the backfield and motion him out. 1st and 10, it's Mayfield. He completes it in traffic. And that's good yardage with a new set of downs. Ball at the 33 for first down. Baker now from the gun. That one's incomplete. Had the connection, but some stone hands got in the way there. No dice on that prior pass. Here's 2nd down. They motion the tight end over. 2nd down, Mayfield to pass. Connects with Johnson. And he's tackled after gaining a handful. Chance to move the chains here on 3rd and 4. Motioning one of the tight ends. 3rd and short, Mayfield. Bails out of the pocket quick. This time they're going to get there, and they drop him. And the defense comes through. That's going to back him up and bring up 4th down.
Final quarter, this quarterback's just feeling the need to do a little extra, try to make something happen outside the pocket. But the problem, defense wouldn't let them. They have that same kind of urgency. They want to make some plays of their own before they hit the showers. And they got one right there with that sack.
And he's going to bring it up to the 40-yard line before he stopped. And this one won't get close. They make the stand and force that turnover on downs.
You know, these 4th down plays are all about trust. You lean into what you do best. Unfortunately, with the lack of execution, you're going to throw that one off the playlist.
Now here come the Falcons on offense. They didn't add to their lead last time out. They punted it away, but still ahead and able to add to it here. New slate of downs to approach here from the 40. Now a shotgun handoff to Brown. And he's able to push forward and get them to the 34. Give him around 6. That's going to make it 2nd and 4. Running this one off right. And he's stopped at the 31-yard line. Give him 4 yards there, and they only need one more now on 3rd down.
That's a gain of 4. Brings up 3rd and 1.
Now a give. It's Brown headed right. And they take him down right along the 30. Just a single yard, but that's going to be enough to move the chains.
Win the early battle. Get a little leverage. Low man wins off the line, and that's all that was needed to ensure that 1st down right there.
1st down, and they go right back to him. And he runs this one down to the 22-yard line. Call it 7 yards, and now they'll have 2nd down and 3.
Brings up 2nd and 3 at the 22-yard line.
Huntley now to throw. Has him on the quick hitter. And he's tackled with the 1st down yardage.
I'm sure Coach, the play caller, doesn't mind making the job a little bit easier. You know, play calling's a lot simpler and easier when you count on the offense to move the chains on those early downs.
Brown on the inside give. And he only manages one. Couple of defenders there to bring him down. They'll come to the line here, 2nd and 9.
Brings up 2nd and 9.
Throwing here, Huntley. That's complete. Here's Brown. And he's caught behind the line for a loss.
Simply put, Kate, I mean, that's just job well done by the defense. You get a completion on 2nd down and go backwards? That's some pretty superhuman effort and want to from this defense.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Ooh, put some heat on that one, Brock, but it falls incomplete. Not on the same page with his tight end. And now they're staring at 4th and long. On for the field goal now. Here's Rodrigo Blankenship. This 32 yards out on the right hash. Up and good from Romo. And the lead continues to grow and grow.
Get another shot across the bow of a ship that's already sinking here, Kate. He could have made that field goal. Heck, he could have turned around and kicked it directly at his coach because it feels like they've got this one in hand.
Tony now to return it. And pretty solid field position starting out here, Brock. He's tackled at the 29. The San Francisco offense headed out to take over. And all game, they have struggled to attack this deficit. Maybe they can do a little window dressing here. They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10. Shotgun snap for Mayfield. Quick slant here to Kirk. And this one gets to the 33-yard line before it's stopped. 2nd and 6 coming up here. They kick the running back in motion. That's complete. Here's Kirk. And that'll be enough for the first as they touch him down.
Sure seems like he knew exactly what he wanted, and he got it, going right where he wanted to with the ball off the snap.
1st down, here's Baker. That's taken in by Henry. And they get this down to the 44 before he stopped. It's a pickup of 14 yards as the chains reset. From the 44-yard line now, 1st and 10. Mayfield to throw again. Henry on the catch. And he takes it just inside the 40, down to the 39.
I call this quarterback's best friend. Some call it a safety valve, some call it automatic, but it's sure nice as a quarterback when you got a trusty running back over the middle of the field that you can depend on.
Baker throwing again. This one is taken in by Tony. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. Well, we see the medical staff headed out there now. We're going to get a timeout as they handle an injured player. Not what you want to see so close to the end of the season. On 1st and 10, it's Henry. And they'll stop him after a short gain to the 13. He gets a couple on 1st, and they'll come up 2nd and 8.
2 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and 8 at the 13-yard line.
Mayfield now from the gun. Catch is made in close. He has the San Francisco touchdown. York now for the extra point.
San Francisco.
Extra point sent right down the middle. And the 49ers get it back to a full 3 possessions now, 24 points. Down by 3 scores, their hand is forced. They're going to try the onside kick here. And the Falcons cover up the kick. And they'll get him down after he gets into the 48. Well, I guess they kind of had to do it here, Brock.
Yeah, it's called a have to. Yeah, kind of have to at this point in the game, huh?
Okay, but like most things in this game, it did not work out for them.
Yeah, let's face it, even if they do recover that, probably not going to find a way to win. But this is a time where you work on things, where you do build to the following week and find a way to flush this because it's just not been their kind of game.
And that one goes for a gain of 11. And the Falcons will have a first. Markers reset, ball at the 37. Going to the ground again on 1st. And that tackle stops him after a solid gain. Give him 5 on that carry, bringing up 2nd and 5.
A gain of 5 brings up 2nd and 5.
Here's Brown again. And he's short of the first after a mile gain. It's a gain of 5, and he's just short. So that's third and less than a yard. Here's Huntley. Stays in the pocket. Made the throw as he was getting hit, Brock, and it's incomplete.
And this is why scouts talk about a player's closing speed, Kate. You know, once he senses the pressure, he's getting rid of that ball. It takes a player who can close quickly to get to him before it's released. And that sure altered the throw. You'd expect him to make most of those attempts from this distance, but it's never a lock. So they'll happily take this and finish off the drive with points.
Blankenship all set for the kickoff. Tony now to return it. Coverage team gets him down at the 26-yard line. The 49ers back on offense and set to take over. And they're coming off an excellent series throwing the football that led to that touchdown, Brock. So you and I both expecting that defense to be looking for that on this series. And he's brought down after a nice gain and a first down.
You want to become a quarterback's best friend? Do that. Turn a short little gain, a short little pass into some yards after catch, and that quarterback will find you again.
1st and 10. Here's Mayfield. He'll get this to Henry. And he'll get it up to the 44.
Kate, I don't know why every once in a while I'll get these little flashbacks, but a little play like that just flashes me back to the preseason, my first preseason. When one of the veteran QBs said, hey, Brock, whatever you do, just find completions. You will never go broke taking a profit. Go get a completion. They're at a premium in this league.
And he'll be taken down, but not until he reaches that 45-yard line. They're now set for 1st and 10. From the gun, Mayfield. He'll dump this one off to his running back, complete. And he's taken down at the 30. A new set of downs awaits him. Here's 1st and 10. They are throwing it again. Fits it through the middle. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a first down.
1st and goal, San Francisco.
From the red zone now. Anticipated the quick staccato pass there. It's knocked away. Incomplete. So after the incomplete pass, here's 2nd and goal. To throw is Mayfield. The throw is caught. Touchdown, San Francisco! Now, this one has been a long game, no doubt. But, hey, something positive to look back on there.
But they didn't quit, Kate, and I know that sounds a little cliche at this professional level, but it really is an important thing. This one will still hurt, but they showed some execution and fire.
You're good on the point after. And the 49ers still have a lot of work to do, Brock. It's a 20-point difference now. With time ticking away, they prepare for a must-get onside kick. And the Falcons cover up the kick. And he'll have it down to the 44-yard line.
Hey, the numbers don't lie. The numbers tell you, Kate, time and again, it is so hard to recover these onside kicks. And when you got an opponent prepared for it, well, that makes it even more difficult.
Going with Brown on the ground. And that's good yardage there with a new set of downs to boot.
That's the kind of run that shows he's trying to take some stress off the passing game to provide big plays. What a great help to that side of an offense when the ground game can deliver chunk plays too.
To the line we go. They're set, 1st and 10. The give to the fullback. And he'll advance this down to the 22-yard line. It's a 4-yard pickup, and that's going to bring up 2nd and 6.
A gain of 4. It's now 2nd and 6.
So the Falcons earn the win in this one.